What's going on, guys? Welcome back into another video. It's Nate here, and today we've got something super exciting lined up for you. Now, if you've ever played Sonic Speed Simulator and thought a specific race was the best one in the game, well, you're in the right place. But here's the twist. I've been asking you, my awesome viewers, to vote on your top Sonic Speed Simulator races from the game, and today we're going to be revealing the official rankings. That's right, you all got to pick the best of the best. We're talking about races like City Escape, Metal Madness, Emerald Coast, just to name a few. So if you're someone who loves racing, grinding on the grind rails, and feeling that rush as you pass everyone, stick around because you won't want to miss this. But wait, before we jump into the rankings, here's the deal. Make sure that like button and subscribe already, because it helps us bring you more Sonic Speed Simulator videos that you don't want to miss. Alright, let's talk about how this ranking system went down. You, the viewers, had your say. I asked you on my live stream, and let me tell you, your picks were pretty good. I'm not just talking about the top 3 races, we're talking about all of the races inside the game right now. And trust me, there were some surprises, some picks you might not expect, and some of the usual fan favorites that totally crushed the competition. So without further ado, let's get right on into it. Well, right, coming in at number 10, it was obviously kind of expected. It is the No Place Drag Race. Now, if I gotta be honest, I would have not played this race anywhere else. This race is kind of bad, and just by taking a look at the votes, we can clearly see that it only has a 62% in A tier, and the C tier and the D tier is actually pretty high up. So it makes sense why you guys voted No Place Drag Race in 10, but anyways, moving on to number 9. But anyways, guys, moving on to number 9, we kind of have a surprise race, and this is the Metal Madness Hard Mode race. Now, as you can see by the percents, this one actually has a 68%, which is not too bad, but the other ones kind of fall behind. B has 18% votes, which is not that bad, and C and D have a lot less votes. But honestly, personally, I think this race is probably like a B or A tier. I think it's super exciting. I love the thrill. I think the Hard Edition is actually really good, and I love versing the Armored Metal Sonic. I think the event was also pretty good, so I'm surprised this one came 9th. But, you know, it is what it is. I think 68% in A tier is not too bad. But anyways, moving on to number 8. This one is actually a little bit spicy in my opinion. And that is Metal City. How did this come number 8? Don't get me wrong, I don't think this race is amazing, but I don't know if it's number 8th. Here you go, guys. Here is the poll percentage. We have 15 votes on this one. And A tier had a 67% vote. And now Metal City, compared to Metal Madness, yes, Metal Madness did have a 1% more in A tier, but as you can see with these votes, there are no votes in D tier. There's 0%. Obviously, C has 20% and B has 13%, but since there are no votes in D, I think this one is a little bit above the Metal Madness Hard Mode race. But I am surprised this one came 8th. Let me know where you guys would put this one. But anyways, moving on to number 7. Now, number 7 was a little bit more expected with me, because number 7, we have the Green Hill race. This is not the drag race. This is the normal race with a 70% A tier vote, 25% B tier, and 5% C tier. 0% D, surprisingly. Personally, I think this one's either like C or D. It's alright, but I think it makes sense why it honestly has a ton of B tier. Honestly, personally, this is not an A tier race for me. Maybe this is some of you guys, clearly, because it has 70% A tier. But honestly, I think this race is alright. Again, C or D for me. But I understand why some of you guys would put it in B, but I don't really understand why you guys would put A. I think this race, again, like, it's alright. But anyways, moving on into number 6. Anyways, now on to number 6. We have the one and only Emerald Coast with 71% votes. Now, Emerald Coast, personally, I think this race is alright. I don't like it too much. But anyways, Emerald Coast had a whopping 71%. Now I'll be asking, how come the Green Hill race is behind the Emerald Coast if the Emerald Coast race has an 8% in D and an 8% in C? I would like to put this one ahead because it does indeed have 4 more votes. The last one had 20 votes. This one has 24. So those votes have obviously counted. But also B has 12%. And there is a ton of A tier votes again. And I gotta be honest, I would probably put this race maybe in C or B. I like it. I don't think it's my personal favorite. Hopefully we get an Emerald Coast World. That would be very cool. But anyways, guys, I think you guys honestly did a good decision putting this race in 6th. Personally, I don't like it that much, but it makes makes sense why you guys voted this race in 6th. But anyways, moving on to the top 5, we have the Radical Highway Drag Race. Now, to be honest, I think this one is one of my personal favorites. I mean, like, this one could even go in top 3. I love racing Shadow on the Dark Rider. They even did, like, a redesign to Radical Highway, the drag race. It was incredible. I love the Summer Shadow event. And even this event came out after we got the Sonic the Hedgehog Generations trailer, the second one at the Game Fest or the Game Awards. I forgot what it was. But you guys actually said this race was a 72% with 17% in B, 3% in C, and 8% in D. Why is there 8% in D? Honestly, I expected this to be way up higher on the list, maybe even like top 3. I'm surprised you guys voted D or C, but I think it makes sense why you guys voted B. I think that's a little bit more understandable. And again, at the end of the day, it is a drag race. I think the only thing really special about this to me is that you verse Shadow, but all in all, I think this deserves at least top 5. And since it got 5, I'm not complaining. I think this was a great choice. But anyways, moving on to number 4, we have the Hilltop Drag Race. How did this make it to top 5? I guess I do understand. It is a great spot to grind out XP or even like ice cream cones or whatever from the summer event inside of Sonic Speed Simulator where to grind out the popsicles. It's a great spot to do that in. And I mean, like, all in all, I think this drag race is decent. I think it's better than a lot of other ones. Would it be top 5 for me? Personally not. But let's get into the ranking now. You guys voted this to be a 73%. That is really high. A 15% in B, 8% in C, and 4% in D. Honestly, I get why it's really high up in A, but I don't think it deserves to be this high up in A. I mean, like, I don't understand why you guys would put it D or C, but I also don't understand why you guys would put it A. Personally, for me, I think it's a solid B tier race, and I guess that makes sense because it got 15 votes, and it got higher than C or D. But to be honest, I think this race deserves to go in B. But honestly, again, I'm not complaining how it's top 5. Personally, I don't think it is. But you know what? Maybe it deserves a slot considering that it's a great spot to grind out your events and your XP. Well, alright guys, moving on to the top 3. We have the one and only Green Hill Drag Race. This is not the Green Hill race from before. This is the drag race. Chat, how did this make it here? I mean, like, I will understand at some point. Again, it's a great spot to just see who's faster in terms of speed. It's a straight line with a couple sky hoops. But here were the percents: 73% in A, 23% in B, 5% in C, and 0% in D. And again, I think this one beat out Hilltop Drag Race because it has no votes in D, less votes in C, and higher votes in B. But it has the exact same percent amount in A tier, which I guess does make a lot of sense. Again, Hilltop Drag Race and the Green Hill one, at the end of the day, they are both drag races. But according to you guys, this one took the edge because of nostalgia. That's right. You guys voted this race to be number 3 because of nostalgia. Guys, I didn't know you guys like nostalgia that much. I mean, like, top 3 I think is a little bit generous. Personally, maybe in top 7 it would go at best. Again, it's a drag race at the end of the day. It's not really special, and like, but I guess according to you guys, it's special because of nostalgia. But anyways, coming up at number 2, we have the normal Metal Madness. Now I'm gonna be honest, I would not be complaining. The event was incredible for this. We're going to verse Metal Sonic, collect Chaos Orbs, and do everything like that. It was an incredible event, and even these votes show, because according to this vote, 75% were in A tier, 25% were in B tier, and C and D had 0%. Honestly, that is a great rating for this race. I love this race so much. I loved versing Metal Sonic during doing the event, and even getting Metal Sonic was incredible. And then they also re-released the event, made it a little bit harder, but it was still incredible. It was super fun. I will always cherish this race. This is one of my favorite updates inside of Sonic Speed Simulator. Let me know if you guys actually think this race is in the top 5. Personally, I think it belongs in the second slot. I think this race is incredible. But anyways, moving in to number 1, we have the one and only City Escape race. Now, this race originally came out when they were revamping the races, and Race Suit Sonic and Race Suit Shadow actually came out in the game. And I remember playing this for a video, and it was just such a fun time running around City Escape. It honestly reminded me of the level in Sonic Generations and Sonic Adventure 2. I think this race is perfect. I love the way it's designed and everything. So yeah, guys, I think personally City Escape is my favorite race, but clearly the votes show this as well, because according to 80% of you guys, City Escape is an A tier race. 10% of you guys said it was B tier, 5% said it was D and C. Honestly, I understand why it'd be D and C. It's sometimes a little finicky and hard, but personally, it's an A tier, and I think it's an A tier for a lot of people. Number one, because there's so many shortcuts, and number two, because it's an action-packed fun race with tons of grind rails, obstacles, fun shortcuts, and more. So yeah, guys, I think City Escape definitely deserves A tier. Let me know what you guys think. Well, there you guys have it. Those are all of the races ranked in the game currently. Now, if I have to be honest, I agree with some of these votes, some of them I don't. Let me know what you guys think of them, and thank you guys so much for tuning into the live stream and participating. It was such a fun stream. I think everyone loved it, including me. So right, guys, here are all of these shoutouts from the last video. You guys have earned it, and if you guys can tell me what your favorite race is in the game, I will be giving 3 of you guys a shout out in the next video. And without further ado, Ferrari, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, turn on that notification bell, and I'll be seeing all you guys in the next one. Peace. Thanks for watching.